challenges need, or changes need, or we need some frameworks to have this happen on a large scale? Because adoption is still limited. Do you think any push that is required from the industry leaders to the regulators, from a framework perspective, regulatory perspective, that this should happen in order to get this as a mainstream technology first generation?
So thanks for that question. I'll try to keep it a little short in the interest of time. I'm very glad to hear from my fellow panelists whatever they said so far. What I truly believe is that Open RAN not only holds the answer, but it is a path to the evolved telecom landscape. I was just talking to Kristian before we started this session that we have to start foreseeing ORAN, the telecom infrastructure going forward as an IT infrastructure. It is not going to remain as what it is today, what we see. In that direction, there are many challenges, of course, and we all have to deal with it in our own capacities, wherever we are. I think the standardization is obviously there, that most of us have spoken about. We are already contributing to it. There has to be more participation. But the most disruptive thing that we should all do consciously is that, I see Open RAN as a freedom from the traditional telecom skills, right? So the most disruptive thing that we should do is we should be more inclusive. We should allow more and more new players in the industry. And to be able to do it, we have to set up the framework. We have to provide them an infrastructure, which can be a public-private partnership, where it involves some alliances, bodies like TEP, major private players. And when I say private players, it's not just the software or not just the hardware. We have to work together. It's not going to be just a software company or a hardware company like that. It has to be a combination of both skill sets, where you do software innovation, and then it needs the compute power of our x86 platform. Right? That's going to be the future of Open RAN. And we have to continue doing all these interoperability tests. I have seen, correct me if I'm wrong, I have not seen any of these happening in India, but there are many such events like plugfests or OTIC labs in US. At least 6 of what I know. I think we should start some such initiatives in India as well. And of course, the government funding and push is definitely needed, because we have to involve the regulatory bodies, frameworks, as well as the academia as well. That's what I would say. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurav. Thank you for that. I think I would like to have a very quick concluding statement of mine to mention that India is ready for certain things. US has some huge work around that. How do you think it will mature over the years? Because Honorable Prime Minister spoke about IT meeting next year on 16. We already have a vision paper for 16. How do you think, how do you think in terms of maturity, how long it is going to take from the Indian perspective to become mainstream?
I think, if I talk about the Indian perspective, we have a lot of potential here. India has a lot of potential. There are many innovators, new startup companies coming up. In fact, I see a lot of acceptability even in the existing players in welcoming these new entrants, which is great. And I also see that government is taking initiatives towards, like chip manufacturing. That is a great initiative, and that is definitely a must. If we look at it, chip manufacturing and local availability in the domestic market is very important in perspective of having processors, availability, servers, and things like that, hardware infrastructure. So that way government can help, and also government should include more and more institutes like IITs and other educational institutes, so that they can set up their own interoperability test labs, which also involves the private players in the game.
Okay, thank you, Saurav.